On October 19, 2025, four men walked into the world's most visited museum and stole $102 million in just 7 minutes. Minimal response, no panic, just precision. And what they took could unravel France's entire economy. Here's how it happened and what nobody's talking about. Before we talk about what was stolen, you need to understand what the Louvre actually is. Because this isn't just a museum. It's a $323 million a year business operation. 9 million visitors annually, that's 25,000 people every single day, spending on tickets, tours, and souvenirs. The Louvre generates over 100 million euros in direct revenue, but the real number is much bigger. Tourism economists estimate the Louvre drives 1.2 billion euros into Paris's economy every year. Hotels, restaurants, taxis, and local shops. The entire city runs on people coming to see the Mona Lisa. So when four guys with angle grinders break in at 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning, they're not just stealing jewels, they're attacking France's economic engine. Here's how it went down, minute by minute. 9:30 a.m. A white truck idles beside the Seine. Two men in reflective vests unload a mechanical basket lift, the kind used for window repairs. Tourists glance. Nobody stares. 9:33 a.m. The lift rises quietly toward a second-floor balcony. They cut through a window seal and step into the Galerie d'Apollon, the glittering room that holds France's crown jewels. 9:35 a.m. Industrial cutters hum. Reinforced glass shatters. The alarm goes off. 9:36 a.m. Museum security alerts Paris police, but the thieves already have the jewels in bags. 9:37 a.m. Staff are told to lock the museum. Too late. 9:38 a.m. The lift lowers. Two men drop onto black scooters waiting by the curb. Engines roar once and vanish into Paris traffic. 7 minutes, start to finish. The heist of the century. So what did they actually take? 5 royal pieces, worth an estimated $102 million. Empress Eugenie's imperial crown, 2,490 diamonds, 56 emeralds, worn at Napoleon III's coronation. The reliquary brooch, over 1,000 diamonds, once belonging to the last French empress. Marie Amélie's tiara, Queen Hortense's necklace, and the Sancy diamond, 55 carats, once owned by Louis XIV. One damaged crown was found outside the museum that same day. The rest, gone. And here's where the economics get insane. Under French law, the Louvre can't buy private insurance for items kept on site. The French government itself is the insurer, which means French taxpayers are now on the hook for at least $102 million. But the real cost isn't the jewels. It's what happens next. The Louvre has a $323 million annual budget. So how did four men with a lift and angle grinders walk in and walk out? Here's the truth buried in France's audit reports. Since 2019, the Louvre has added only 138 new security cameras for 72,000 square meters of exhibition space. 1/3 of the Denon wing has no camera coverage. The Richelieu wing, 3/4 unmonitored. And the Galerie d'Apollon, where the jewels were kept, had one camera. One. Pointed at the display cases, not the windows. French auditors wrote this exact line. The Louvre treats security investments as a budget adjustment variable. It's the kind of sentence that sounds bureaucratic until $102 million walks out the window. When the Louvre needs to cut costs, security is the first thing to go. And now, the bill has arrived. 3 days later, the museum reopened. Crowds returned, but something was different. The Galerie d'Apollon remained closed indefinitely. One of the Louvre's top 5 attractions gone. Visitor reviews dropped, future bookings declined, insurance costs for museums worldwide skyrocketed. Every institution now has to prove it's more secure than the Louvre, and that costs money nobody budgeted for. Hotels near the museum saw a 12% drop in bookings within 48 hours. The Ministry of Culture announced an emergency €50 million security upgrade. But that money has to come from somewhere, meaning cuts to other museums, monuments, and cultural programs. One heist? 7 minutes? and France's entire cultural economy started to shake. This isn't just a French problem. The Met in New York, the British Museum in London, the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, they all run on the same fragile model: massive public collections, government insurance, and security budgets that quietly shrink every year. Museums worldwide now face mandatory security overhauls, all expensive, all overdue. And the thieves, still gone. No arrests, no trace of the jewels, which leaves two possibilities. Either a private collector commissioned the job, meaning the pieces will never be seen again, or this was a test, a proof of concept, a message to the world. Even the Louvre can fall. If it's the second one, we're about to see a wave of museum robberies unlike anything in history. Because if the Louvre can be breached, every symbol of civilization just became vulnerable. So let's add up the real cost. $102 million in stolen jewels, $50 million for emergency upgrades, $200 million in lost tourism revenue over the next year, $500 million in higher insurance costs across France, $1.2 billion in long-term economic damage to Paris. Total real cost, $2.05 billion for 7 minutes of work. That's not a crime. That's an equation. But the biggest cost isn't measured in money. It's measured in trust. For 230 years, the Louvre has been the symbol of cultural preservation, the place where humanity's greatest treasures were safe for future generations. On October 19th, that trust shattered, like reinforced glass under an angle grinder. And now the question no one wants to ask: if they can hit the Louvre, what museum is actually safe? This is what I do on this channel. I break down the real cost behind the biggest stories in business, economics, and global events, the numbers nobody else is talking about. If you want me to investigate why the housing market is on the edge, how the Great Depression actually started, or the hidden economics behind the world's biggest companies, drop a comment below and tell me what to uncover next. Subscribe so you don't miss it, because the real cost is always bigger than the headline.